We've just got crying babies.
Oh.
Sugar, there isn't, is there?
No, it's alright. It's alright.
My internet?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why's it gone? Oh.
It'll just be people joining the
Oh,
meeting.
right. Right, just let me put the baby stuff in.
Right.
Oh,
Guys.
guys!
I don't know. I don't know if we.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me, Mrs. Nelson?
I can hear you, yes, but I'm
Right.
muted.
All right, yeah, okay. Okay. Right, I am going to start now. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to St. Edward's. It's a little bit different today. If this was last year or maybe next year, you would join us in school for our new starters meeting. Unfortunately, due to this situation we find ourselves in, we have to do it like this. I hope today you'll find lots of information that will benefit you for your child starting in September. I'm Mrs. Knowles, I'm the head teacher, and we've got Mrs. Nelson on the screen.
Hello, everybody.
And I've got Mrs. Turner.
Hello, everyone.
And I've got Mrs. Dudgeon, who says it's Lily, but that's her daughter. So Mrs. Dudgeon works in the office. Mrs. Dudgeon? Hello. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go through a PowerPoint. I'm going to share my screen, and you'll have the opportunity to unmute yourself. And then you also, if you've used Zoom before, you can click on the chat button and you can type things in, but also we will have an opportunity to talk about things at the end. And if you don't feel comfortable asking questions in front of everybody, you're more than welcome to put them on the dojo. So hopefully you'll find it useful. We are recording it so that you'll be able to watch it back and just clarify things, but more than welcome to St. Edward's. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. So, first of all, good morning and welcome to St. Edward's. I bet it seems like a long, long time since you either came to visit us or to put in the application form. You, with approximately 60 other people, put an application form in for St. Edward's. Yourself and 29 others were successful. So we've got a class of 30 starting with us in September, and we are so, so excited. Now, some of you, it might be like coming home, because I know now lots of people came to St. Edward's, so it'll be like a family coming back. Some of you will have children already here at St. Edward's, and some of you, this might be your first experience of our school and your first experience of your child starting primary school. Today, hopefully, we will reassure you, we will support you, and you'll get lots of answers. At St. Edward's, we have core values: love, respect, patience, kindness, and trust. You have chosen this school, a school with strong values. The most important here is love. We follow the teachings of Christ. Love one another as I have loved you. Your child will be cherished and loved here at St. Edward's. Your child will help your child to grow and to flourish and to be the best they can be. You are joining a school family, and it's a family made up of three: school, home, and the parish. There on the picture is Father Brian, and when you come to St. Edward's in September, you will walk past his house every day to drop your child off. Father Brian is an essential part of our school. He is a real member of our school community. But if you look at the picture there, right at the centre is Christ. Christ permeates everything that we do. And each of those little flowers on the tree are the blossoms, which are your children. So from the strong roots you have given your children at home, linked with the parish, and also what we will do over the next 7 years, we will ensure that your child blossoms and flourishes to be the best they can be. Mrs. Turner and Mrs. Nelson are going to read a little poem that just encompasses what we're trying to say here at St. Edward's.
If a child lives with tolerance,
he learns to be patient.
if a child lives with encouragement,
He learns confidence.
if a child lives with praise,
He learns to appreciate.
if a child lives with fairness,
He learns justice.
a child lives with security,
He learns to have faith.
if a child lives with approval,
He learns to like himself.
if a child lives with acceptance and friendship,
He learns to find love in the world.
For your child at St. Edward's, we have this here. To love another person is to see the face of God. We will love your children, and I'm just going to show you a little bit video about the relationship they will develop at school and with Jesus. I'd like to introduce Mrs. Turner now, who's going to talk to you a little bit of our curriculum at St. Edward's.
So at St Edward's, we wanted a unique curriculum that was very important for our parish, our community, our children, our parents. Other schools have similar curriculum intent statements for their school, you've got to think about what matters to yours. So as we talked about walking in the footsteps of Jesus, we had Jesus at the heart of everything we did. And we also looked at our local area and how proud we are of where we come from, how proud we are of where our school is situated, and how we need to celebrate that diversity that we have in this town. So through history and geography, knowledge of what happened in the past in our local area, we wanted to celebrate all that we've achieved. So yes, we still do all the main subjects, but we do learn about our ancestors from our local area. So our curriculum may be very different from someone in Accrington, someone in Rosendale. So we really wanted to put Jesus at the centre and work from there and think, what would we want our children to know and be proud of and become citizens of our school as they move on through their life. So our curriculum intent statement, walking in the footsteps of Jesus at St Edward's, we aim to provide a curriculum that helps children become resilient, hardworking and confident learners.
Give our children opportunities to develop independent skills necessary for learning and life in a diverse society.
Promote a sense of pride, self-worth and empowerment to encourage high aspirations.
And ensure that our learning experiences stimulate, inspire and motivate children.
So you may wonder what that looks like. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a video that shows what life at St Edward's is like. Oh, sorry. Right, sorry. So now Mrs. Nelson and Mrs. Turner are going to talk you through what life is like in EYFS.
Okay, so in the early years, also known as the foundation stage or reception class, a lot of our learning is based around play, first-hand experiences and practical experiences. So your child may come home every day and say, all I've done is play today, and they may well have done just that. But rest assured that this is very structured play. It will be supported by an adult where needed to promote their language and their learning or their social skills, and it will always have a purpose. Now, around our classroom, we set up different activities. We have water and areas, sand areas, Play-Doh areas, and every week, the things in those areas might change to be linked to our book of the week or our theme for the half term, or there might be challenges that are set in the area which are set to extend children's learning and help them become a little bit more independent. So yes, they are playing, but they are definitely learning. And in the early years, we follow the early years curriculum, which has 7 areas of learning that you can see on your screen now. 3 of those are what we call our prime areas. So that's our personal, social and emotional development. That's how we get on with others and how we believe in ourselves and our own self-confidence. Our physical development, so again, not just related to PE, it goes down to things like looking after ourselves, our hygiene, our pencil skills, our motor skills, and our communication and language, our ability to speak and clear sentences and understand and follow instructions and stories and things. So they are our prime areas, and they are the most important because they lay the foundations. So we work on those early in the year to prepare your children so that they are ready to start learning in the other areas, which are literacy, maths, understanding the world, which is sometimes referred to as topic. So that's where we learn about technology and we learn about seasons and things like that. And then expressive arts and design, which is all our creative and role play opportunities.
So, to the current situation, I'm afraid we can't tell you the definite arrangements for September. We usually would in these meetings. We would give you dates and we would give you times. But as you can appreciate, we're just awaiting guidance from the government on how to stagger. Now, we just want to reassure you, we will stagger the intake to help your child to ease transition. Some of them may be a little bit worried, might be excited, might be a bit scared. Some of them might not have been to a nursery since the 20th of March. And of course, we're very much aware of that. So as soon as we know anything, we will let you know. That's why this dojo communication tool that we've got is absolutely vital. So thank you. If you've got any questions, always contact us on there and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So this is also the case for Breakfast and After School Club. And I know that some of you have asked us about that already. I'm really sorry. We won't be able to tell you any of that at the moment. So please just bear with us. We will let you know when we can. When we do start and your child does come into reception class, we do start at 8:45 on a normal day. At the beginning, it might be slightly staggered times. So please supervise your child before school. We don't want any dogs on the yard, please, any pets, any scooters, any bikes, and the children stay with you. And even on a rainy day, we used to allow children to come into school. So due to the current situation, that won't happen anymore. So we just suggest wait in your car for the bell. Don't stand and get wet. You'd be wet all day. So we're really looking forward to seeing you and your children next Tuesday on Turning Into a Teddy Day, where we'll be giving you the blue bag, the famous blue bag that we use at St Edward's, that they use throughout the infants. So the blue bag, we do ask that you check it every night. We put things in there. Please put anything in there, any letters, doctor's appointments, any queries, reading books, things like that. And we'll also frisk the children every day. So the blue bags are really important. The milk and fruit scheme from the government is still continuing. So it is free for your child, a piece of fruit and a little bottle of milk until your child turns 5 in that term. So if your child is 5 in September, that payment will begin straight away. If your child isn't 5 until June, then you won't pay until that term. You don't have to have the milk. Some people are allergic to milk, don't want milk, don't fancy milk. Fine, you're able to bring a bottle of water. We do suggest that all children bring a bottle of water anyway to drink during the day. So many of you have asked about packed lunches. At the moment, again, they're still free for 7-year-old children and younger, which is wonderful. So it's a free school dinner in our lunch hall. or you can bring the packed lunch. Now, just for example, out of the 30 children we have at the moment in reception, only a couple of them bring packed lunches. All the other children really enjoy the school dinner, so it's definitely worth a try. And they'll surprise you because they'll come on and say they've eaten quiche, and you'll think, well, they've never eaten quiche in their life, but they're different at school. They love it. They're different. It's exciting. It's on a little tray. And we're in there with them. Please don't worry. Some of you said they're fussy eaters, and you know, who's going to help them cut it up? We're in there with them, and we've got really experienced welfare staff as well. They won't be on their own. Myself and Mrs. Nelson, the reception staff, will help them for the first few weeks. Then we carry on with our normal afternoon activities. And our home time is 3:15. Now, if you are going to be late, please just ring us. Please don't dojo if you're going to be late, because we won't have checked that, because we're teaching. You must ring the office, please, if you're going to be late. And you must also ring the office if it's grandma that day. Please don't just dojo, it's grandma tonight, because that's a safeguarding issue, and we won't have read that. And then we might be questioning, who's this person picking up your child? So it's really important you ring the office officially and let us know if it's someone different. If you are going to be late because you're stuck in traffic, it's no problem. Please just let us know, and then we can tell your child. Now, uniform, I know it's up in the air at the moment. We're definitely back in uniform in September. So everything you need to know about uniform came in the packs that you got through the post, the paper copies, or it's all on the website as well. Please don't worry about uniform. Also, letting you into a secret, if you go into Snazzies, Whitakers or Greys and say St Edward's, Darwin, they know exactly what you need anyway. They're wonderful in there. They would say you need this jumper, this t-shirt, these PE shorts. So please don't be worrying about uniform, but we all are back in uniform in September. And you can book appointments at those places now so that they can socially distance their customers. So it's a really good idea. Please name everything. Now, I know some of you on my screen have heard me speak many times about coming to school. And you'll have heard me say this many, many times. Please name everything. At the moment at nursery, it's fine, because you will recognise your child's clothes, and the nursery nurses recognise your child's clothes. Myself and Mrs. Nelson will have 30 blue jumpers that are identical. Please put your name in everything: shoes, hats, coats, gloves, underwear. And I'm not even kidding, because when they first get changed, underwear comes off as well. Please name absolutely everything. Same with PE bags as well. We've got 30 identical PE kits coming in, and your little bag. So I'm just going to talk about earrings. We ask that you don't wear earrings on the days that we do PE. At the moment, we do PE on Mondays and Tuesdays, but again, that might change, but we will keep you informed. And the earrings, they can wear gold or silver little studs. That's all we allow at school. I know there are some beautiful blue diamante ones out there. Please, can we stick to gold or silver studs? Thank you. So we do ask that you practice getting changed as well. Even if it's, I mean, we might have time now if you're not at nursery. Practice getting dressed. Practice undressing, dressing, because that's a real treat for us first time we do PE, when we've got all these children trying to get undressed and dressed. So all these rules, all these information, all these guidelines about hair and hair bubbles, you might be a bit overwhelmed at the moment if I'm telling you a lot of information. It's all on the website. Please don't worry, and it'll all be in the booklets that we sent you as well, those paper copies. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about other things that we do in school. Thank you, Mrs. Knowles. So we do things like show and tell, which is a wonderful opportunity for your child to bring in something from home that's really special to them. We won't be doing it in the beginning because we're trying to stop the transfer of objects or information or sheets of paper. But when it does begin, you'll get a little message or a little letter saying bring something from home. It's all to aid communication. It's all to help speaking in full sentences. It's all to share in their joy and their achievements. Week and Bear won't be happening at the moment, but Week and Bear might be up to mischief in the class, and you might get some photos of Week and Bear in the class. You can chat about that at home with your child and say, what's he been up to today? And it was his birthday just before lockdown, so they had a little party for him. So Week and Bear is still very much fit and healthy in that classroom. He's had a wash, so just keep an eye out for Week and Bear. He won't be coming home at the minute. Some of you might be cheering, some of you might be sad about that, but just keep an eye out for certificates from home. Again, it won't be happening in the beginning due to the guidelines of bringing things from home, but please send us a photograph. If your child has got gymnast of the week, we want to hear about it. If your child has football trainer of the week, please let us know. We love things like that. We all talk about it. They ask them questions. It's wonderful. I'll just move on to allergies. Thank you so much to all of you that have filled in those really important transition documents. Just in a lot of them in the office. If you haven't filled those in, we really need them as soon as we can, please. Because of things like asthma, allergies, doctor's appointments, we need to know your children really well so that we can really care for them and look after them in school. So any allergies, any asthma, any medical issues that you think we need to know about, please let us know and we can deal with it this end. Again, with plasters, child does fall over and they've got a real graze on their knee, we do look after the children and we might put a plaster on. So if your child's allergic to plasters, just let us know. Now, the advice has always been in school that if your child's ill, especially if they've been sick within the past 24 hours, please do not bring them back to school. Obviously, we also need to follow the guidelines of any symptoms of coronavirus of which you are very aware of. That you could find out what those symptoms are if you weren't already sure of them. So again, that's really prominent now that we need to make sure that any symptoms of any illness, you let us know immediately and then you don't bring them to school. So I've just put at the bottom here, you must make sure that your contact details are up to date, please, because we may need to ring you in the day if your child's been sick or they've had a nosebleed or something's happened. Please make sure your contact numbers are up to date if you've changed your number, that your email addresses are up to date, please, and that you do check your dojo messages on a regular basis. It can come up as on a notification on your phone if you know how to set that up so that we can always be in contact with you. So your child may need a change of clothes. It might be that they've been in the mud kitchen, which is what's happening at the moment with some children, and they're already covered in mud, but they absolutely love it and we don't want them to stop doing it. So they may be covered in paint, food, mud. They might have weed, and that's absolutely fine. We will always change your children. We'll always send them home in dry, clean clothes. Please, can you wash them and return them because we will need them again for another child. So don't worry if I've spoken really fast and you haven't got all that information down. It is on the website. You can have a copy of this Zoom that we're recording at the moment. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to speak to you quickly again about home learning. So we believe that there is a partnership between learning at school and learning at home, and you can, of course, continue to support that learning when your child comes home. So you will be given reading books for your child to enjoy at home. You'll be given sound books, which goes through the phonics and all the sounds that we learn to teach them how to read. In there will also be what we call some tricky words, and then you will be set homework projects as well. These will all be explained to you at the time of giving them out, so don't worry. We do usually do a reading and phonics meeting to explain to you all how we teach phonics and how we teach your children to read and write. We will arrange that nearer the time. It may have to be like this one on Zoom. It will obviously depend on the regulations at the time. So when your child brings these things home, we advise to do little and often. At the beginning of school, when they start, it will be a shock and your child will be very, very tired. So you might want to choose your times wisely to try these things. If they are tired out, give it a miss for that night and try it again another night, because it's only going to cause you and your child to become frustrated. But anytime anything comes out, we will explain it and go through it all with you. And also, just a quick one from us, if any of you have any skills or can help us out in any way, please do let us know. That could be things like volunteering at the school fair. If you are a person who would be classed as people who help us, or policeman, a nurse, doctors, vets, anything like that, we learn about this in school, so we'd love to have you in as visitors, obviously, if we're allowed. If you have any expertise in any outdoor learning or anything like that, or if you can help us build, if you're quite a handyman, then that would be really, really appreciated. Get in touch if you're any of those people, please. So, as a parent myself, I am very guilty of always asking my children, what did you do at school today? And quite often I get no response, or I get, oh, nothing. So you might find the same thing. When your children come to school in September, you'll be excited to hear all about what they've done at school today, and you may just get the answer, nothing. Well, I can reassure you that your children will never have a day where they do nothing. So I'd like to share with you a little poem which I thought was quite nice, and it sums up what all those nothings might actually be. So the poem's called I Did Nothing Today, author unknown. So when children come home at the end of the day, the question they're asked as they run out to play is, tell me, what did you do today? And the answer they give makes you sigh with dismay. Nothing. I did nothing today. Well, perhaps nothing means that I read a book. Or with a teacher, I got to cook. Maybe I painted a picture of blue, or heard a story about a mouse that flew. Maybe I wrote a sentence all by myself, or found a great book on the library shelf. Maybe I helped a friend today, or went to my favourite area alone. Maybe today was the very first time that my scissors followed a very straight line. Maybe I sang a song right to the end, or worked with a brand new special friend. When you're 3, 4, or 5, your heart has wings, and nothing can mean so many things.
Thank you, Mrs. Nelson, Mr. Turner, that's lovely. At St Edward's, we have a really, really strong parent partnership. In a moment, I was going to invite Mrs. Dudgeon to speak to you about our PTA. But just looking at some of those images there, we have lots and lots of information for you. Obviously, Mrs. Turner said it's the website. You will find everything on the website, and we've made a tab especially for you called New Starters. Mrs. Nelson will work with you on tapestry, and she'll build up and talk about that in September, how that works. We have Class Dodo, and already thanks to those people that are sending us messages. We will reply to your messages, and no question is a daft question. I have put that open door there because we do have an open door policy, but I do ask you that maybe in the mornings it might not be the time to speak to the teacher, because obviously you would want Mrs. Nelson to be focused on your child and the safety. So, you know, ask, oh, can I speak to you tonight? And you're more than welcome. And we do have a really strong Facebook, Twitter that has lots and lots of information. We are so lucky at St Edward's because we have never, ever, since we set this up 2 years ago, had any negative comments on our Facebook. And our parents are always open and honest with us, and they know that if they've got something that they're concerned about, they come in and share it. They do not put anything negative on Facebook. They do not put anything negative on any of our social media. You may, as a parent, lots of classes do a class WhatsApp. And again, that's there to talk about, you know, what do we have to bring tomorrow? But again, if you feel that something is being said, come and say it to the parent, come and say it to us as parents that we have a partnership. 7 years you're going to be with us, and we want you to be able to come and be open and honest and share any concerns about your child. Mrs. Dudgeon, are you there? Mrs. Dudgeon?
I've just unmuted. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yeah. Would you just share a little bit about the PTA for us?
Yeah, I'm the chair of the PTA. I also work in the school office with Mrs. Douglas. The PTA is a parent-teacher association. We're a small group of parents and teachers who meet a few times a year to discuss ideas for fundraising for school. We organise a couple of discos a year, film nights, Christmas raffles, and we help out at other fundraising events throughout the school year. We also have a 100 Club, which is a yearly subscription raffle. It has 2 cash prizes every month, £10 and £15. That's drawn every month, and it's only £10 to join for the year. So we send letters out. Well, I don't know whether it will be a paper copy, probably a dojo in October if you want to join our 100 Club. We're also always looking for new volunteers. I don't know how things will work with COVID, but we have been meeting at Brewster's just for a get together with the children as well. But like I said, we only meet 3 times a year, and we're always after new ideas, new helpers. And what we do, all these monies that we help fundraise, they go towards the little blue bags that you get for your reception children. We do the Year 6 hoodies, books throughout the school. We just put this money back into the school for your children.
All right, thank you. So sorry, Mrs. Dudgeon, I am going to cut you off because we've only got 3 minutes and we need to get to the last slide. But they're more than welcome to ring the school office, aren't they? And anyone's welcome to join. Thank you for that. Yeah. I'm just going to move. Last thing now is these 2 dates. So next Monday at 3:30, I am going to send you a login for Zoom, and your child is invited to a Teddy's welcome party. And that we've got a children's entertainer. The teachers will be there as well. It's for parents and children, and it's exactly the same as this, but an entertainer will talk about starting school. That's next Monday. And then on the Tuesday, we would like you to come with your child anytime between 1 and 2 to pick up their new teddy pack, because it's turning into a teddy day. So we are so excited. We will be able to let you know by next week what your child's start date. We're just waiting for final official guidance from the local authority tomorrow on Wednesday. So you will know your start date, you will know your start time and pick up. We will on the first week have it staggered. We will not have all 30 together. I will be sending some more information out next week regarding information you've heard on the news regarding bubbles, COVID safety. So you will get access to that information as well. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving your time today. Any questions, please do not hesitate now to put them through onto Dojo. Mrs. Nelson and Mrs. Turner will answer you straight away. But I just want you to look at that image there. And it says, what do you want to be when you grow up? Kind, said the boy. And as your child moves through this school, that is one of the things we will want them to be. Kind, someone for the future, someone who has the attributes, like Jesus did, of being there for others. So it is going to cut us off. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. Put your questions onto Dojo straight away, and we look forward to seeing you next Monday at 3:30 with your child, and next Tuesday 1 till 2 we'll all be there. Mrs. Dudgeon will be there as well. The team to pick up your little blue bag, your teddy pack, and we get ready for the future. So thank you so much for giving your time today.